coming is another CassetteMaster direct upload. With the direct freaking uploader. And glorious mono. Do you like that? It's glorious mono. It ain't stereophonic, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, make sure level isn't too much. I'm going to adjust our level here. Okay, okay, well, a little Johnnin' in the overdrive. Slim Mr. Overdrive, we don't want him here. We do not want Slim Mr. Overdrive here, do we? Okay? Okay, is that good? Okay. When it comes to tape recorders, Juliette, or the company Top Electronics, made some of the worst. Here is one of them. Okay, let's have it play. Something I recorded with it. A song by John Bender called Something. Oh, you can barely hear it. Ah, you hear some now. Let's put my microphone up to it. It's so quiet. I'm putting the microphone right next to the speaker. Luckily, it isn't as severely fluttery as it was before. Before I was reinforcing this idler right here with a braces rubber band. That's the wind idler for rewind and fast forward. Well, it was making the speed so fluttery, it was insane. I took that off. Here it is. And the speed is more stable. There's still a little bit of flutter, but it is more stable. See, the thing is the take-up reel was driven by a freaking fiber belt. And of course, the freaking fiber belt disintegrated shortly after running for a while. So I replaced it with a rubber band, and the rubber band is coated with graphite lubricant. Let's see the front of this thing. It's upside down, obviously. It's overdriven. I'm going to turn it down. Now, I didn't record that bad that time. Probably because it's a little weak. But it is known for recording super weak on the tapes. When you try to make it record stronger, it has this horrible distortion. Got that computer sound on it. Volume's all the way up. Okay, now it's all of a sudden just got louder. Just a little louder. Tone control. Okay, I have some other recordings here.
During the final scene,
Final Scene by Greg Van Dyke. Unsteady record string. Let's rewind some and go to where some stronger recordings were made, which ended up in the horrible sounding distortion. Oh wait, that was before I took the braces rubber band off so you can hear how fluttery it was. And also it just records so weak it barely registers on a VU meter on a deck.
I didn't make him skip over questions anymore. I had to give him what he wanted.
This is DC bias. Not only is it a DC bias, but it's full of flutter.
You hear that distortion? DC.
It's a flutter.
So that's an example of it. But whenever you put music from a radio directly to the microphone or something, do it something loud enough, it will have this horrible sounding distortion.
Showing, learn the signs of autism at Autism Speak. Autism is getting closer to home. From 1 in 5,000 only 20 years ago.
With foreclosure, I will never fall. I get this feeling, drunk and rough.
Agents care about an agreement with.
That's the distortion. I mean, that's bad. Real bad. So, well, at least the speed is a heck of a lot more stable than it used to be, which is very good. By the way, it doesn't have the battery cover. Here's the back. It's a Top Electronics model CTP-2015A. As you can see, no battery cover and lots of corrosion as well, obviously. I mean, if you look at the transformer in this, it is completely coated in corrosion. The transformer from top to bottom is just, it's completely coated in corrosion. It's just crazy. So is a corrosion. Okay, this video is already long enough in that the preparing for preview is going to take so long. I want to see if I can fart for the video. Safety. I love to fart. But at least oh yeah, taking the smell. Oh yes. Very pleasing. But anyway, what I plan to do with this recorder is I plan to really soup this thing up. It's not just going to go to waste. See, I have the other Juliette recorder, which is parted out. You may remember this recorder. I made a video called DC Bias at its worst, I think, back in 2009. And it showed this recorder attempting to play a recording of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And it was barely noticeable amongst all that distortion. So I finally just parted it out, got the head out of it, got the belt. I'll be able to use the motor. This one doesn't use the fiber belt design like the other one does. Got the circuit out, and the circuit's just a piece of crap anyway. The design for the recording on the circuit is just horrible. So this is just parts. But you can just basically get it doesn't give Juliette a very good name. Or Top Electronics. But this one's case, I really like the way this one's case looks. I don't know about you. You might find it looking good too, or maybe you might just think it's not that great. But I really like the way this one looks. So I don't want to just part this one out. I want to actually improve this. This is my plan. Who knows exactly how it's going to be carried out, if it will for sure or not. But my plan is that I want to try to make the transport as steady as possible on the speed. And what I plan to do is put in a servo controlled motor, put a variable speed control on it for both recording and playback, put switch and circuit to switch the speed between the regular 1 7/8 or a 15/16 to make it a 2-speed recorder. And I'm also going to try building a different circuit for the recording and playback. Just take this circuit board out and find a good circuit in which that I can build a circuit. Well, I know there's a circuit on a data sheet for LM389 chip. The LM389 is just basically a 386 with 3 transistors all in one chip. I want to make that circuit the application circuit from the data sheet. The only thing is that application circuit's DC bias. But what I think I want to do is try to build an AC bias circuit, which I think I want to base it with a 555 chip, making a high frequency square wave to then drive through a transistor to give more juice, and then drive that through a small audio transformer or something to then give an AC bias to the signal while recording. And then I also plan to actually have a switch and be able to switch whether you want it to be DC bias or whether you want it to be AC bias, which would be a very interesting touch. And then also I plan to have automatic or manual level control switchable, and I plan to make a VU meter which would use LEDs and I think a LM324 chip to make a LED VU meter. So, and also install a built-in mic. There's actually a place for a built-in mic right there on the case, so I could install a built-in mic. So I can install an auxiliary jack and maybe also an electrical pause switch. So I plan to do lots of stuff to this recorder to customize it into a very nice recorder, automatic and manual level control, LED level lights, AC and DC bias, switchable, which would be a very unique thing on a tape recorder, probably the only tape recorder out there that would have something like that. Dual speed and variable speed, and I don't have the head, I don't think, but if I had a 4-track head, if I had 4-track heads, I'd like to make it one that could record and play talking book cassettes, but I don't have the right heads unless I parted them out of auto reverse Walkmans or something. But those are my plans. I plan to do with this thing. I plan to really make this into a really cool tape recorder. And then I have another plan coming up, is I'm going to be building a power supply. I have some parts in order from Jamico. Now I'm going to be building a power supply with dual, probably about 0 to 30 volt adjustable, and then current limiting going up to be able to go to up to 5 amps using LM350 voltage regulators. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm actually wind my own power transformer. Here's a primary of a transformer. All the transformer things are right here, a ton of them. I had to disassemble this transformer because I'm going to have to use a certain transformer that didn't have it on the internet. So I'm going to wind custom winds. I have the wire in order and I have necessary parts in order from Jamico. And I'm going to try winding my own transformer and building this power supply. And it's going to have built-in digital volt and amp meters. And I only have one of these, but I ordered a bunch of these chips here. The ICL7107, which can be used with LED digital displays to make a pretty simple circuit to make a voltmeter or an amp meter. So that's my future project so far, and I'm hoping it all works out good, because if it does, it's going to be the best, nicest power supply I ever had, and all homemade, you know. So those are my two my big projects planned, is the power supply, and then really souping up this tape recorder from being a piece of crap into a very nice, extra nice, full of features machine. Hope you enjoyed this very, very long, going to take absolutely forever to prepare for preview video. Bye.